Alright guys, this is the last note of the year for Algebra 2. So here we go, we're going to talk about frequency and probability distribution tables. Alright, so a frequency table tells us how often something's going to occur. So this is just saying how many times people answered each answer. So a survey was conducted about the number of animals living at home. There was 1,129 survey student overall. So we know our total is 1,129. So we don't even need to add it up. So let's find the probability that a student has one animal at home. So I'm going to look at number 1. Well, that was 320 over 1,129. I'm going to go ahead and just do a decimal. I'm going to do that as a decimal. 320 divided by 1,129. We get 0.260 something something. So we'll just go with those two decimal places. All right, now find the probability that a student has 3 or 4 animals. So we're going to have to look at 3 and 4. So add them together, 190 plus 50, that gives me 240 all over that 1,129. So if I do that as a decimal, I get 0.212, so we'll just go 21. Okay. Now, we can do these like that, and that's perfectly fine. Another way that's sometimes helpful is when we see a frequency table like this, is just making ourselves a probability table. So let's look at an example of converting it to one. Okay, so we're going to convert this to a probability distribution. So I'm going to take the table that I just had, and I'm just going to make it a table of probabilities, so I can easily see what's the probability of each of those events happening. Okay, so remember, there was 1,129 students total. So I'm going to go ahead and do one for the 0. So there was, if we look at the table above, it was 265 people answered 0 animals. So if I do 265 divided by 129, okay, I get 0.2347. So we'll go with 0.23. That's the probability of somebody answering with 0 animals. Okay, now I'm going to do 1, so which is 320 divided by 1,129. And I get 0.28. And I'm just getting my numbers from above. So the next one would be 245 divided by 1,129, which is 0.217. So we'll go 22. Okay. Next one was 190 divided by 1,200 or 1,129, and we get 0.17. Okay. Next one is 50 divided by 1,129, and we get 0.04. Okay. Our next one will go 37 divided by 1,129, and we get 0.03. Okay, and 6 more. That was 22 divided by 1,129, and we get 0.02. So now once I do that, I'm going to use that to help me out with these answers. So find the probability of a student having 0 or 1 animal at home. So I want both of those, so I can just add those probabilities. So 0.23 plus 0.28, that's just going to be 0.51. Okay. So that's my answer. So it's a little bit different than what we did on the last slide, but we're just using our probability table now. So let's look at finding the probability of a student not having exactly 3 animals at home. Okay, so I know that having 3 is this, so I can actually just do 1 minus the 3.17 to figure out how many didn't have 3. So remember, to figure out like the opposite, we can just do 1 minus it. So that's going to be 0.83. So creating probability distribution tables sometimes is kind of helpful when we have kind of more complex questions. You can do it either way though. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next slide. For your exit ticket, or the big thing to get out of this, is converting a frequency distribution table to a probability distribution table. Okay, so first thing we have to do is get the total, which the total, if I add up all these frequencies, ends up being 61. Okay, so now we're going to have to do 12 divided by 61 to get the probability for A's. Then do 15 divided by 61 to get it for B's. So go ahead and fill out this probability table. And once you finish that, you can go ahead and get started on your next activity. Best of luck.